Good day, brethren, wherever and whenever you're watching us. This is take 5 to watch for dawn. And the Bible portion that we are referring to is taken from the book of Prophet Isaiah, chapter 27, reading from verse 7 to 8. And we have a poster question for us also on this topic, which is, where do you need to watch and wait for God's deliverance? Now, we know the history of the people of Israel, and we know that while the people of Israel always offend God one way or the other, God has always, in order to bring them back to himself, sent them to exile at various times. And we find more often than not that when this happens, God has never abandoned his people of Israel. When he sends them into exile, it's a way of chastising them and bringing them back to himself. This is in contrast to a situation where the enemies of Israel are totally to be destroyed or annihilated. So we find out that God's chastising of his people is a way to bring them back to himself, whereas in terms of their enemies, they are often destroyed. And you find out that even where these enemies have been used as a kind of whip to bring the people of Israel back into shape, they usually also suffer for it. And more often than not, they are destroyed. We also find out that when the people of Israel were to be given their land in Canaan, quite a number of the other peoples were totally to be destroyed. You can talk about Jericho, you can talk about Ai, you can talk about the Philistines and the Jebusites and so many other foes of Israel. More often than not, when God deals with them, they are totally annihilated. We find out that the love of God shows in everything that he does, especially in this particular Bible portion we're reading. And we can find that Bible portion to support this from Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6. We can also look at Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. A child that is loved is chastised and not left to his whims and caprices. We as parents often know that we have to bring our children back to order when they do something that we do not like. We usually correct them in love. So when we go through challenges as Christians, we should not always ascribe it to village people, quote and unquote, as we often say. So when we are faced with challenging situations, it is better for us to kind of look inwards, to introspect, and find out where we have gotten it wrong and try to come back to God. Because more often than not, we find out that in our relationship with God, if anything goes south, it's because on our side and not on God's side. God's love is constant, is always there for us at all times. So we need to watch and wait for God's deliverance everywhere and anywhere. It could be in our daily activities, it could be at home, in your marriage, in your relationship with your children, in church, in your relationship with your leaders, in your relationship with your colleagues, in your relationship with everyone around you. It could be in school, it could be in your business, wherever you are. Always know that in every activity, God is there watching us, and therefore we have to be at alert, especially when we are faced with challenging and troubling times. This can be brought, like I said earlier on us by God, rather than us thinking that it is the village people that are after us. Now, where do we actually wait for God's deliverance? We have to be actively expecting and not be passive. We have to be actively expecting God in our activities. We cannot be active. We cannot afford to just lay by and expect that something will happen. We have to be actively expecting God. We cannot afford to be passive, like I said. We have to be steadfast in our prayers, for only the Holy Spirit can uphold us and strengthen us. We cannot do much in our own strength. and our own will. We have to be spiritually vigilant. You can check the book of Matthew chapter 26 verse 41. So once again, the topic is take 5 to watch for dawn, Isaiah 27 verses 7 to 8. And I pray that God in his infinite mercies will uphold us and will give us the ability to watch for his deliverance. Thank you very much, and God bless you.